Hey everybody, so nice to have you here. Thank you so much for joining our workshop. And as Jess said, it's going to be all about how to create Pocket presentations. So the next 1.5 hours, we hope you take a lot of good insights. And yeah, let's kick it off. But maybe first things first, just to introduce myself, my name is Karo and I'm a product designer based in Sydney. And I work with Canva presentations, but it's not just me today. We have also Kitkat joining from Manila. So over to you, Kitkat.
Hi everyone, I'm Kitkat. I'm a graphic designer for Canva here based in Manila, our Manila office, and I work on mobile marketing projects. So I'm all about our mobile app, which I hope you will be using today.
Nice. So yeah, before we jump into designing things, let's maybe have a bit of a recap. I'm sure you're all familiar with what Canva is. It's a free design tool available on both mobile and desktop that allows you to design almost everything you can possibly imagine. And what's the best thing? You can mostly do it for free, which is amazing. And we actually see quite a big spectrum of how our users use Canva for something very personal, like that could be maybe a birthday card for your loved one. But there is quite a big number of people using it for more of business applications. So it can maybe be something like a comprehensive deck for your boss, things like that. And we would really love to know what are you guys using Canva for? So maybe type your answer there in the chat and let us know.
What do you like using Canva for, Caro? I know that we both use it outside of work as well.
I'm a graphic designer, so for work, it's something that I use sometimes to simplify, my everyday job, or maybe like creating social media content. But I think I really love it the most for those personal use cases, designing birthday wishes card for my mom or something like that, make it fun and personal, some quirky images in there. So yeah, it's good like that. What about you, Kitka?
Personally, recently I've been making playlist covers for my Spotify playlist. We have a new doc type that came out, I think last week or 2 weeks ago. They're playlist covers and they're so cute. They're so cute that they made me want to update all my Spotify playlists. So I suggest looking through those doc types if you're interested.
So we've got a few answers coming through in the chat. Michelle says, I use Canva mainly for Instagram posts and soon to be blog posts. Sudha just uses it every day for everything. Leanne says, I use it on school presentations. Covey uses it for both work and personal use.
Yeah, and definitely something, as KitKat said, to look forward to. There's always something new and exciting. So, whenever you jump into Canva, you can expect that there will be something new waiting for you to spark your creativity and yeah, just create awesome visuals. You probably heard that it's this big phrase that Canva is famous for: empower the whole world to design. So what does it really mean? We are now in every country and in over 100 languages. But as our founder, Melanie says, we're only 1% of the way there. So one of the key focus for us for Canva is to offer a seamless cross-platform experience. We want to make sure that you can jump on any device, design your project in a way that suits your preferences and have the same delightful experience. Many of our users will be designing on their mobile phones, some would prefer their computers, and many find themselves in between the two. So whatever your preferences are, we got you covered, and we offer powerful functionalities on every device. And what's very interesting, actually more than half of Canva users are coming from our mobile app. And fun fact, 30% of our mobile users are small business owners. Have you guys tried Canva mobile app before? There will be like a quick poll that you can answer to. So Jess is going to launch it right now.
There we go. Poll in progress. Ooh. Have you used Canva mobile app? Okay, so yeah, we're sitting on 76% of people have, 75% now, and 25 not yet, but will be inspired to by the end of this webinar.
That's the
Wow, this is
goal.
awesome.
So we're gonna do some activities today, and you can definitely use a free account for it, but you don't need to. However, if you're interested, we are gonna use some pro features. So here's a gift for our participants today. Here's 3 months of Canva Pro. Download it now if you can, or maybe screenshot this, but here's the link just for you, our participants today. Say, I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to get that. Is everyone good?
Great. I'll also paste that link in the chat.
Okay, cool,
so
cool, cool,
you can
cool.
click on it. So yeah, 3 months of Canva Pro.
All right, so today we're going to use the Canva mobile app to make a pocket presentation. So whether you're a beginner using Canva for the first time or one of our certified creatives, I know that there's a lot of our power users in this group right now, in this talk right now. So I hope you learned something from today's session. So what is a pocket presentation? Or a mobile first presentation, as you can find them on Canva, they're pretty much your usual presentation decks, but they're optimized for viewing and editing on your phones. So they're easily shareable, easily editable, and you can present them from anywhere because you bring your phone everywhere. And what goes in your pocket presentation? So you might be thinking, I'm not super sure how that will be relevant for me or my business, but you'd be surprised with all the things you can do with Canva and our presentation templates. So you could create a pitch deck or a quick overview for your business, for your potential clients, but it's also great for listing down services you offer. So for example, you're a social media marketer and you want to pitch to clients, or maybe you own a restaurant and want a quick shareable takeout menu. There's really so many options, and I hope that we can explore them all today. So to recap, before we begin the actual demo, we're going to learn the ins and outs of Canva through the mobile app. We're going to explore the mobile first presentation document, and we're going to create our own. And finally, we're going to learn all the different ways you can present your pocket presentation. So let's begin. Today, here is our main activity that hopefully by the end of this session, we will all create a 5-page mobile presentation about you or your business. So the premise, for example, you don't really want to play along, or maybe you don't have a business or it's not super relevant to you, but you still want to learn. I created a premise for us in case you don't want to do that, but you still want to do the activity. Caro and I will be following along and using this prompt as well. So let's pretend you're a baker who likes to share your creations on Instagram. And suddenly you're getting overwhelmed with inquiries from potential customers about your menu and how they can place an order. What would be a good way for you to respond promptly and appear professional to your customers? All right, everyone got that? Or you don't have to follow that. You can also just follow like your own business or just about you. So I want everyone to get out your phones now and open your Canva app. If you don't have the Canva app, you can also go to canva.com on your mobile browser. But if you don't want to do that, you can also follow along on desktop. Nothing wrong with that as well. We're good. So here is what we're going to do first. We are going to look for the mobile first presentation doc type. So on the bottom right, there is this purple plus button, like you will see here in this clip. And then you will just type mobile first presentation. Okay. And then after that, you will be able to choose a template. There are so many different options to choose from for templates for this stock type. You can choose one that matches your aesthetic or your brand, or just something that you find cute. And always remember that it's Canva, so you can customize it. You can always change the fonts. You can always change the colors. So I want everyone to do that right now. So go look for the mobile presentation doc type and choose a template. All right. If you're on desktop, it's pretty similar. There's the search bar on the top, and you just type in mobile first presentation, and you can choose from there. I'm not sure like if you're familiar with this doc type, because I'm pretty sure it's not that common to find anywhere else, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm not sure, can't confirm if this is a Canva innovation, but I think it's a pretty cool doc type. Alrighty, so as I mentioned earlier, I'm working with a prompt today that we're a bakery and we want to make a website or like a presentation with our menu and our information. And here is going to be the sample final project. Here's a little sample of what we aim to do today, and we're going to do a live demo, so no worries, but we're going to go through everything step by step. But this is what I'm gonna do for you guys live. Hopefully, I'm gonna do it live. So wish me luck. So at this point, uh, hopefully you have your Canva apps open and you've chosen a template that you want to work with. And we're gonna start our live demo. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna teach you guys how to add pages to your presentation. Here's my phone. Okay, we're good. Can everyone see my screen? My phone screen? So this is the template that I chose for my mobile website. And we talked earlier that we want to make it 5 pages. So I'm gonna tap on this plus button until I get 5 pages. And you've probably noticed that our presentation templates are all multi-paged. So it's not just like one design. Usually they range from like 15 to maybe 20 pages. And because we're only going to do a 5-page presentation, I'm going to choose which ones that are relevant to me. So remember that we're going to make a menu for a bakery in a presentation form. So I'm gonna click the second blank page because I've already had the cover selected, and then I'm gonna tap on this purple plus button and then templates. And that is when all the pages of your doc type show up. Everyone following along well? And then it's time to choose which ones you want to apply. So for page 2, since it's a menu, perhaps I want to go with this one. And then page 3, let's do that again, and let's choose a different one. Maybe I want an additional menu, maybe with a photo this time. So I'm gonna tap on this one, page 4. And then maybe for page 4, I want like our address or like our shop address. I feel like this would be a cute page for that. So I'm gonna do that. And for page 5, it's gonna be our contact details. So let's go templates, and then perfect. There's one that says contact us. I'm gonna tap on that. So I've selected my 5 pages of the template that I want to use. As you guys know, like the placeholders, it's very like your traditional presentation. Like it's very corporate, like the text. But of course, we're gonna customize that all to make it match our bakery. Um, and just so you can see everything side by side, you can see there's this button here, the grid view. And this is what it looks like. It's just a nice way to see everything like side by side to make sure it's all correct. So now we've chosen our pages for our presentation. So now we have like sort of a skeleton for our presentation, and now we're gonna customize it. So if you're following along on desktop, this is what it looks like. I would like to think that our cross-platform experience has gotten so much better. I think it's really good now. So if you know how to use the app, using the desktop is using Canva on desktop is a pretty seamless experience, which we will actually demo later. But to see the grid view, you can see the little 16 on the bottom right because I have 16 pages applied here. But you can click that to see it on desktop as well. So that's my tip. You tap this button on the bottom right to get a better view of all the pages of your design. All right, so that I would say is pretty, that I would say is a pretty simple part. I would say like this is the easiest part of our presentation. Is everyone following along? Okay,
Fantastic.
moving on to our next step. So here, let's set the scene here. Caro is currently in Sydney and I'm in Manila. And let's pretend that we're opening 2 branches of our bakery in different continents, but we want to work on this presentation together. So I have shared my presentation with Caro. But first, we're gonna customize our text. So our bakery is called Butterfly Bakery. And it's a lot of text for me to edit. Oh, as you can see, Caro is already in the presentation. This is live, by the way, like for reals, like hi. Obviously, it's hard for me to edit all the text on my phone, so Karo is gonna help me. All I had to do was share her the design link and we can work on it together. She is on her desktop and I'm on my phone. So cross collaboration works that way as well. And it's real time, which is very cool, especially now that a lot of us have been working remotely. Cross collaboration has definitely been a game changing feature for Canva. But yeah, perhaps I will help her edit some of this text. So you just have to double tap. So you can double tap each text box to edit it, or as you can see, like there's this edit button at the bottom. You can also use that. All right. I'm just gonna go real quick back to my deck while Caro is helping me. Oops. While Caro is helping me edit the text on my document. So if you are on desktop, like here's how to do it. There's this button that says share, and then you can just add your friend's email or your coworker's email and then make sure they have edit access. But if you want to do that on mobile, here's how you do it. So you can see that there are these three dots at the top of the toolbar, and then scroll down and click share, and then you can share that way. You just type in the email to your friend, and if they have a Canva account, they can just quickly hop onto the design and share it. So if I go back to, how's it going, Caro? Like, how's our little presentation?
Yeah, slowly getting there. But just as Kitkat said, if you have lots of edits to do and you share responsibilities with your teammate, this is like an awesome feature. You can just jump there, work together, maybe even on the Zoom call. It can be like, you know, talking to each other, being remote, and then editing at the same time. Just, you know, looking at the designs and maybe giving each other a bit of tips here and there, which is quite handy.
I feel like this would have been so handy when I was in college, like making presentations with my group mates. I feel like it's like a cooler Google Docs where we used to write with papers. It's more fun. You can add like graphics and photos like in a really easy and simple way. Like I'm sure reports would have been more fun in college if I had Canva. I'm not sure if Canva was a thing back then. Maybe it was, but like super early days.
Yeah, for me,
So
I still remember those. Yeah.
Really?
I just wanted to, yeah, almost there. I just wanted to say, I remember those times when you're like sharing the version, the latest version, and whoever had the latest version was updating the version, and it was just such a mess at some point.
Oh
so
my gosh,
this is really
that's
handy.
true. When you have to like replace like files. Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
or
That's
merge
true.
them
That's such a
together,
good
different
point.
versions in one version.
Everything is on the cloud now.
Yes, which is so great.
Okay. Oh, I forgot. One thing that I will show you guys how to do is how to replace photos. So if I want to change this photo, obviously not a bakery. I've uploaded some photos prior. I'm gonna put that in. Maybe add our little graphic. Oops, that's wrong. So make sure your background is not selected so it doesn't replace. And then hit this this plus button to add. And then you can either go uploads or photos. I'm gonna go uploads because I've uploaded some graphics prior. I'm gonna use this one. Maybe put that here. All right. And I think all our text is in, and now we can go into really customizing our presentation. So next up, right, so I explained that. Super helpful tip for simultaneous collaboration. Just share your design link with a friend to spruce up your presentation together. And our next step would be changing colors and fonts. So here's a pro feature that's available on Canva. You can use it um, on both web and it works on your phone as well. Let me just switch back to my phone. Here we go. So you click on menu here at the bottom right from your homepage. There's this thing that says brand kit. I've already set ours up prior. Oop, hold on, it's not loading. Brand kit. Let me switch. There you go. So I've uploaded our logos, we have a color palette, and even our fonts. So how that works for Canva is that they're easily accessible from the editor, so you don't have to keep remembering what your palette is, or like you have your logos uploaded and your fonts. Even you can even set the size. Let's check that. See, like the size and style, you can make sure it's bold or italic, just to make sure, like especially if you have other people on your team, you can set your brand correctly. So let's go back to that design. We were at this one. So how brand kit shows up on the editor, it's like this. So for example, I want to change this color to our brand color. I'm going to select the background, get color over here. And then as you can see here is our color palette. So I'm going to set that. Maybe this, maybe purple. There, yellow. And then for our fonts, remember that we set fonts on the brand kit as well. So I'm going to select that. And then we go to font. And you scroll down just a little bit, and there's a section that says brand fonts. And you can already apply your fonts that way. All right. So here is when, so while I work on changing everything, like little by little, maybe it's a nice time for questions. Like, does anyone have any questions that they want to bring up, or is there anything on the chat?
Adding fonts in Canva. So can you add new fonts into Canva?
Yeah, you can do that. It's basically a part of the brand kit functionality. So if you're having a Canva Pro, you can add your custom fonts, whatever your brand is using. So there is an option, but it's in the Pro package.
Fantastic. So you can all have access to that because you got your 3-month trial of Canva Pro, so you can test it out. Does your design automatically save? So we've welcomed Jen onto the call, who also works in our mobile product here at Canva. Hey, Jen.
Hello, everybody. How you going?
Hi, Jen.
Hey.
So Jen, did you want to answer that one? Does your design automatically save?
Yeah, absolutely. It does automatically save as long as you're connected to the internet and you're not using a design that you saved offline. You don't need to do anything. It'll happen automatically.
Like we mentioned earlier, it's good for group work because you don't have to replace files and send files over and over again.
Can I resize a regular presentation slide deck to a mobile presentation slide deck, mobile first?
So we do have this feature called Magic Resize. You probably will have to tweak it a little bit, but it's definitely possible if you really want it. Or you can also make a blank mobile presentation, and then you can just copy like your favorite elements from existing other document. That also works as well if you want to do that. I love that we have shops in Manila and Sydney.
Yeah, you're an international company already. I love it.
Already, just started, but.
Another question, how can I upload my own photos and videos into Canva?
Great question. Okay, I can show you that. You might see my camera roll, so I'm not going to super show you, but you can see this, the purple plus button. It's basically the go-to button to add anything. So you hit that, and then you go uploads, and you can upload your own images or videos or even audio. So if you want to put music, that's a relatively new feature on Canva as well. So like if you want to make maybe Instagram reels or videos, you can add your own songs. But I believe that we also have a music library on Canva now. So you can also check that out if you want. Okay.
Oh, here's a quick question from Michelle. If you create something in the app, will it be saved in your account that you access through the computer as well?
As long as you're logged into the same account, then yes. So it's you can, like, one of the big great things about Canva is the cross-platform functionality. So if you use it on your iPad, on your phone, on your laptop, Like as long as you're logged into the same account and you're under the same like brand, like it's gonna be the same exact design, and that's like one of the great things about Canva, I would say. Okay, I'm gonna go back. So on desktop, there's also a brand kit. This is what it looks like. As you can see, it looks pretty much exactly the same, and the functionality is pretty much the same on mobile, but this is how it looks on mobile. So that's my tip. Keep everything on brand using Canva's brand kit feature. So we have our presentation done pretty much, and we can make it more dynamic. Now we're gonna show you like all the different ways you can present your presentation. We're gonna hop on back to my phone. So how many of you know that we have animations on Canva now? That's like a relatively new feature, I would say as well. You can go here. I'm gonna click on the background just because like that's how I select the document as a whole, and you will see that there's this little button that says animate. I'm gonna click on that. And there are quite a few options. So you don't need a pro account for this. There are a lot of free animations that you can use. They're already pretty good. But my personal favorite, we have some pro animations as well. My personal favorite is a pro animation. It's called Scrapbook, and I think it looks so cool. I love it so much. It's pretty much the only animation style that I use just because it's my favorite. And then we're gonna hit apply to all pages, and now all of our pages will have that cool animation transition. So how we will see that, oh, you can also set the time. Like let's say you want it slower or faster. Maybe we can do a little bit faster. And then we go to this button where we present, and then we go present standard. And then once you switch pages, like you have these cool animations. So this works when you present on Canva, but it also works if you, what do you call this? If you download it as a video, as MP4, the animations also save. So it's actually a cool, like free way to make videos as well. One more thing I want to show you just to make your presentation more dynamic while we're on this page. You can also add links to Canva. So I'm going to show you, like I'm going to ungroup this first. So let's say you make a button like this. What you can do is select all of those elements one by one. So I'm going to select the rectangle first, and then I did a long press. And then I'm going to tap on the text and this icon. So it says 3 elements selected, right? And then I'm going to go down and click group. So now it's a group, so like it's one button. And what we can do is we can add this thing that says link, and then you can add a link. Like, so you can add your Instagram page, so it becomes clickable. So basically you have like this other dynamic element in your presentation. It works, I believe, on PDF and presentation mode, and in another way that I'm gonna show you after this. So make your preso more dynamic with animations. On desktop, it's the same. Like this is what it looks like on desktop. You can choose the style and the timing, and you can apply it to all pages as well. So yeah, that's my tip. Turn your multi-page design into a cool animated video with just a few taps. And also you can add clickable links to your design by tapping on this little link icon. And you also learn how to group elements on our mobile app. All right, so now we've got our Pocket presentation all finished up, and now we want to share it to the world. You can present your presentations directly on Canva, and that's pretty cool, but there are actually a few more options we can explore. So we're gonna go back to my phone. Oops. And then, so we have our presentation here, and I'm gonna show you, I would say, a pretty underrated feature on Canva. Maybe our power users are already all about this, but I think it's one of our best features. So if you click on this share button, you can see that there's something that says website. And you can click website, and I always choose scrolling. I think it's the one that looks the best. It's a parallax. Unfortunately, the animations won't show up when you are on here, but you will be given like this unique link on Canva, and then you basically turned your presentation into a website. So this is super useful to put on your link in bio on Instagram. Personally, I do that for like my personal stuff. And the links, I taught you guys how to add links. These are now clickable. I didn't make them clickable because that will take you to my Instagram. But like if you add a link, these will be clickable as well. So basically you have a one-page website with like more functionalities like this. It's kind of similar to like those other websites that let you do that, like that let you make one-page websites. But I think Canva is the easiest to use. I've tried a bunch of those, and I still went back to Canva just because the customization was like unmatched, and like there's already like a lot of go-to elements and stuff. So that's how you share your presentation as a website. So there are other like ways to do it. So you have like one with a navigation bar and just a standard one. But for me personally, like scrolling, if you're doing it on mobile, scrolling is the best option for me. So on desktop, this is what it looks like. It's the same thing. Like you click on these three dots and then website will show up, and it's the same exact method. You can also do it with like regular presentation, like the regular size presentation, to make like websites that are full screen. But this one is optimized for mobile specifically. Okay, so that's my tip. Publish your design as a website and select web style scrolling. And now you've created a free website to share on your socials. Some other ways to, here are my other suggestions for how to use your Pocket presentation. So in the last year and some months, many of us have stayed at home and relied on deliveries to purchase things. The shops, big and small, have had to rely on good online presence. And personally, I really appreciate it when they're properly prepared for inquiries. So I've had this baking supply store send me a PDF of all their items and prices through a messaging app. And I super appreciated that. Like, and that's why I became loyal to them, because they have that list that they gave me so quickly, and you can use a Pocket presentation for that. I also love it when restaurants have their menu and contact details on their Instagram stories, and you can definitely use your Pocket presentation, like export it as individual images. You can use it for your highlights as well. And another cool thing, as I mentioned earlier, is you can export it as a video. So maybe you can use it as an ad. But another fun thing could be you can make a Pocket presentation, like maybe as a birthday video greeting for a friend. Like you can ask all your friends, you send them the link and they can add their own videos and photos and messages, export it as a video and send that to your friend. I feel like that's one fun use case for your Pocket presentation as well. So I've showed you like a super fun way to, like a super fun use case for our Pocket presentations. But Caro is actually going to go in and show like another side to our Pocket presentations. Take it away, Caro.
Thank you. Yeah, so you guys have just seen this great demo from Kitkat on making fun bakery presentation, but Pocket presentation can also have more formal application. You could use it to design something like company's performance report, where you have lots of data analytics. So one of our features that will be very handy with that are charts. Canva charts allow you to visualize your data in a very easy, beautiful, simple to understand way. And as everything in Canva will let you to take your own spin on it and allow you plenty of customization as well. So I'm going to show you a few steps on how to use Canva charts, and it's a little bit of a tutorial for you. So just how to add charts into your Pocket presentation. You simply click on the plus button, select charts, and you'll find plenty of visualizations to choose from. After that, when you select the one that you like, you can change the color of the graph so it matches nicely your presentation. So once you have your chart in there, you can edit the data, tap on the chart and click edit. You can enter whatever labels and values you want. You can also just delete some rows, add more columns, and just make it as comprehensive as you need to. For someone who wants to keep a very simple looking minimalistic presentation, we have this one feature what you find from the settings. So once again, in the editor, you can click on Settings tab, and you'll find an option to hide the data labels. So if you're going for that simpler, more minimalistic look, we also have you covered. And what's great, once you have your data in place, you don't need to commit to that original graph visualization. You can try different visual styles by opening the drop-down in the charts editor, and there's plenty to choose from. So you can just scroll through them and choose the one that fits your presentation. So with charts, you can not only change the colors of the graph, but you can also match the fonts with your presentation. So select the charts and click on fonts to find the one that you like the most. And one extra tip for you, for those of one who are heavy Excel users, on desktop, you can paste the data directly from your spreadsheet. So that's a simple way to build a beautiful chart directly in Canva. And we hope you can test this out and let us know how do you like it.
Thanks so much, Caro. So now you've seen like a fun way to use Canva and maybe like a more serious way to use Canva. I want to know if anyone has more questions.
There is a lot going on here. So we've had a lot of questions
Wow.
coming through in the Q&A. We've answered most of them, but I'll surface some of them just in case people didn't see those questions come through. So is it possible to copy and paste multiple selected elements using mobile from another Canva design?
But in the mobile phone or on desktop? Because then there's a difference, actually.
Yeah, in mobile.
In
mobile, I don't think so. No,
I don't think so.
Because we don't have a different tab for your design open. So then you basically in one editor, and then you jump into another editor, and you kind of reset what you have been doing, previously. So there's no action carried on to the another editor, the other document.
Okay, great. I've got a few, lots of excitement around the publish as website, scrollable website feature. A lot of people saying, oh, I didn't know you could do that. That's a great way to do it. And someone has asked, is that a pro feature or is it for free as well? Do we know?
I'm pretty sure this is free. Anyone can do this. You can do this right now.
Awesome. So have a go, get practicing.
Yeah.
A few people asking if they can use the website elsewhere, like host it somewhere else. So really it's just shareable as a link, but you can put that link anywhere. You can send it in an email. If you've already got a website, you can put it as a link on that website. And someone else has asked, can you then change the label of it? So instead of having the long web address, can you change it to say bakery menu?
Yeah, I've actually also used a redirection tool like Bitly. Or maybe like I've also bought my own domain and I just redirect it to this Canva website. So it looks nice on my Instagram bio. So you get the link so when you go website, open website, you can just copy link over here. Just click copy. And that's the link. And you can put it in Bitly or like one of those URL shorteners where you can customize. That's like so you don't have to have that super long URL.
So I'm going to pop over to some of the questions that have been asked. How do I access BrandKit on mobile?
So I'm here on the home page, and then I'm going to click on menu, and there's this thing that says BrandKit. You can set it up on mobile as well. So you can just add hit these plus buttons, and if you have your logo file on your phone, just upload it here. You can set it up here. There's the upload a font that some people were asking about. So you can upload a font. So Canva actually already has some pre-made color palettes in case you're feeling a little indecisive of what you want to choose. You can also search, let's try blue. And there are a bunch of different palettes that you can choose from. There. And you can edit the names, everything. That's how you use BrandKit.
Fantastic. And we related to that, we did have another question saying, if you use BrandKit, do you automatically get the option to select from those colors when you're in your design? So yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So for example, like I'm gonna select this element over here, and if I go to color, you will see my color palette pop up right away here. It goes the same for fonts as well. So I'm gonna select this, and I go to font. There you go. It says brand. You have to scroll down a little bit because what pops up first are the fonts used in your design and like the fonts you recently used. But the third section says brand fonts, and these are my brand fonts. So it's gonna show up there. Yeah, that's
Fantastic.
those are the brand kit functionality.
Yeah, it's such a time-saving feature, isn't it? Once you've taken the time to set up your brand kit, and then you can just, especially like Kitkat and Karo, who are opening this bakery internationally, they're going to be using all the same brand assets. Like their branding is going to be the same in both countries with absolute ease. So it's a super time-saving feature. We did have another workflow question. How do we group elements and ungroup them on mobile?
Yep.
That's a little.
I will show you again. Okay. So, like I showed earlier, like we turned this into a button, right? I'm gonna ungroup it real quick. So it's composed of this rectangle, this text box, and this Instagram icon, and you want to group it together. I guess like on web, it's pretty obvious. Like you select everything, and then you can just click group. But it's also possible on mobile as well. So I'm gonna click on the rectangle first, and I'm gonna tap it, like do a long tap, and this thing shows up. It says one element selected, and that's how you know that you're ready to select other elements. So I'm gonna select this text, and then I'm gonna select this icon, and then if you go down, this thing says group, so you can go group, and now it's like one thing. If you want to ungroup it, the group turned into ungroup, so it's group, ungroup, and then now that it's a button, you can go to link, and so when you add a link, it's gonna be like wherever they click in this whole thing, it's gonna be clickable. I hope that answers it.
I think that's it for questions for the moment.
Okay, so thank you so much, Jen and Carol, for answering those product questions. And thank you so much, everyone, for participating today. Before we wrap up, I want to talk about a few more presentation things you can find on Canva. So with remote learning and remote working, I'm sure everyone has had to do Zoom presentations. And if you haven't been using Canva for that, let me try to convince you. Personally, when I go on Zoom parties with my friends and they show decks that are not Canva, like for fun, I'm like, why don't you support me? So I'm gonna try to convince everyone today to switch to Canva presentations if you haven't yet. So I'm gonna show you just some of a few templates that you can find on Canva. So we have so many different design styles for presentations. These ones for corporate settings. Here's a pitch deck, a blue and white, like very corporate, very tech presentation. Here's a more modern approach that you can probably use for work. I personally really like this one. It's really clean, really beautiful, and looks really professional. But of course, we have a lot of fun presentation templates on Canva as well. So here's one for like a fun social event. Like, have you ever made a birthday presentation before? Maybe all your friends can send in video greetings and photos of the celebrant and write their own messages. So if you don't know, you can also add videos to Canva. You can upload your own videos. If you're on your phone, you can probably record something and upload it directly and like put it in your presentation. So if you wanna, if let's say all your friends want to send in like video birthday greetings for someone, they can just chuck it in the presentation super quickly. And of course, here's one of my personal favorite presentation templates, and I think it's one of the most popular ones. They're trivia night templates. Super fun activity. Maybe if you're just staying at home with your family, fun thing you can do on a Saturday night, or maybe even have a Zoom party with your friends where you can probably do like something specific to your interest. And then, of course, we can't forget about our teachers. Some of our most popular presentation templates are school and education related. So if you're a teacher, or if there are teachers in your life, I hope you can show these to them so that it can be helpful, because our presentation team has been working super hard on like all of these. And I hope that they, help you out like in this difficult time of remote learning, which hopefully we will transition out of soon. And that pretty much wraps it up from us. So if you didn't follow along live, time to make sure you get going and make a presentation in the next 48 hours. You can showcase your new skills by adding photos, elements, animations, and different publishing options. And Jess, do you want to talk a little bit about our Canva Design Circle?
Absolutely. So for those of you that don't already know about our community group, the Canva Design Circle, I highly suggest, if you are a Canva lover, that you jump on and join. We have, I think, over 100,000 members now, and it's a super supportive community where people share designs, we get new tips, new feature releases are announced here. So Canva Design Circle is available on Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Canva Design Circle. Go and check it out and become part of our community. And then we also have Canva Space. So this is our website here, canva.com/Canva-space. And at the very top, there is a link to see the schedule, and you can see all the upcoming webinars that we have in the coming months. So please check that out continually and join us for more Canva goodness. Please take 1 minute to give us feedback. We always love hearing from you, and we love not only getting feedback on the courses that we run, but giving you the opportunity to have your say on what new courses you would like us to run. So what would you love to see a webinar on? Just jump into this form. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I think that wraps it up for today. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. A special thank you to Kitkat and Karo for your awesome presentation today, and a special thank you to Jen as well for joining us. Jen actually moved house. In fact, didn't just move house, moved country, and even managed to land in the new country and quickly come onto this webinar to join us, which was very, very kind of you. So thanks for joining us and answering some questions too, Jen.
So we're coming to you from 3 countries today. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, how cool.
I think it's our most international webinar so far. All right, congratulations, everyone. Great webinar. And
thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll probably be on the Design Circle group if you have any questions. So yeah, thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.
This has been...
See you next time.